This is Gene Montrestone, and welcome to the Tapping Q&A podcast, recorded live to tape from Williamsburg in Brooklyn. This is episode 476, originally aired August 26th, 2020. Hi everybody, Gene here. Welcome to the Tapping Q&A podcast, where every single week we answer the most common and uncommon questions about tapping and EFT, so you can move past the basic recipe and start mastering the art of delivery. You'll learn how to find root causes faster, clear issues quicker, and have longer lasting results with your tapping. Today, we are going to talk about how I tap every single morning and how that sets the tone for my day and how I do it in less than 10 minutes. Before we jump into that, I just want to send a big shout out to Anne. Anne is the most recent supporter of the Tapping Q&A podcast. Because Anne has decided to support the show, I'm actually reaching out to her after finishing this recording so we can start getting her amazing bonuses for being a supporter of the Tapping Q&A podcast. If you'd like to be like Anne and our other amazing supporters, all you need to do is go to tappingqa.com/support and you will see exactly how you can support the show and receive some amazing thank you gifts just like Anne. In my client calls, I spend a huge amount of time working with small business owners, helping them to be more efficient, how to do time management, how to do the actions that they want that are important first. Because oftentimes we don't do the most valuable tasks right away because they have stakes and they're overwhelming. And so one of the ways that I have a more productive day is in under 10 minutes, how I start my day every single morning with tapping. And this isn't the tapping for the to-do list, which I've talked about a number of times on the podcast before, that I do that as well. But before I even think about the day, like task by task, I have a little 10-minute tapping ritual that really sets the tone for the day. And so I manage my tasks in a journal. I have a handwritten journal where I track making sure that I'm doing the tasks that I want to do every single day that have to do with my diet, my exercise, my prayer and meditation practice, my staying on task. Like it manages my life in a lot of ways, as well as my business. And one of the lists that I have every single month is it's a blank page. It's a blank page, and just going down the left side of the column, I have numbers on every single line for the number of days in the month. So for August, there are 31 of those numbers. And what I do is I decide an issue that I'm going to tap for. And it could be something physical, it could be pain related, it could be weight related, it could be something that has nothing to do with my business, relationship-wise and how I'm showing up. It could be as simple as focus. And then I set my watch. I have a little Apple Watch, so it buzzes, so it'll let me know when I'm done, for 10 minutes. And I tap on that issue for 10 minutes. And I keep tapping, and I keep tapping, and I keep tapping, and I keep tapping. Even if it feels like I've run out of aspects and ideas, I give it 10 full minutes. Now, as I'm doing this, oftentimes lots of ideas come into my head, things that I can do around that issue or things I can do for today. So in a lot of ways, what I'm doing is I'm just clearing the deck and clearing the clutter out of my brain as I'm starting my day. And so if that happens, I stop. I have a pen and piece of paper, like always, next to me, and I jot down the tasks or the ideas that come up. And because I'm writing these down, what it gives me to do is it gives me the ability over time to kind of just see at the beginning of the day, what is my biggest worry? And so as I was looking back over the last couple of weeks before recording this, I noticed that focus kept showing up over and over again. And that's because last weekend I launched that training, Mastering the Art of Delivery. And so there were so many details that I needed to get ready content-wise, as well as managing it to make sure that all of my participants from all over the world were getting on the Zoom calls at the right time on the right weekend and all of that. And so I knew I had a lot to do each day, so focus was super important. And so what it does is it gives me the ability to kind of guide or look back and see where I've come from and start noticing if there are trends and there's something that I need to tap on in a deeper way. Now, there are some mornings, like today, where I didn't have a theme, and that's okay. And the days that I don't have a theme or a particular topic, I just tap for 10 minutes. I don't have a goal. I don't have an objective. I just sit there and I tap. And this morning, as I did that, for about 10 minutes, I just kept yawning, and tears were coming out of my eyes. And basically, those are physiological symptoms that my body is leaving fight, flight, or freeze, and it's returning to a rest, regenerate state. And so even though there wasn't a huge issue at the front of my head, it was making a huge, huge difference by doing that small bit of tapping. So if you don't know what to do and you don't know how to tap in an effective way to transform your life and do these big things, that's okay. Because for me, tapping is such a practical tool, and it's about dealing what is in front of us in a really practical way. And so for me, by clearing the deck every single morning, I show up more present to the day. I'm more likely to hear inspiration. I'm more likely to take good, thoughtful action as I step into the day. So if that means for the next week, all you do is you set a timer and you just tap without words for a certain amount of time. And it doesn't have to be 10. It can be less than 10 minutes. It can be 5. It can be 3, whatever it is. But start crafting that into your daily routine is going to make a really big difference in how you show up during the day, which means that you're going to make better choices, which means you're going to be happier, which means you're going to be healthier, all for less than 10 minutes a day. And I would encourage you to create a little tapping journal. Just number the days. It can be a simple list. It can even just be on the back of a note card. But every single morning, if you do pick a theme, just write it down so you can track where you're going. It's a really simple, straightforward process, but it'll make a huge difference in your day as you manage all that is coming at you in the midst of crazy, crazy times. So give it a try, and I'd love to hear how it works out for you. What is the routine that you create, or what is the routine that you already have? I can be reached Gene, Gene, at tappingqna.com. If you know someone in your life who could use the recommendation of a little ritual like this, please pass this along. Don't spam your inbox and send to everybody in the world. But if you know someone who could use this gentle little idea to start their day, it would mean the world to me. And the most common way someone finds a new piece of audio is from the recommendation of a friend. And so it would really be the highest compliment you could pay is by passing this along to someone else. If you haven't subscribed to the show, you can subscribe anywhere you listen to audio: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Pandora, Spotify. Just search Tapping Q&A on any platform where there is audio. And in podcasting parlance, subscribe is always free. There is no cost for doing it. Hit subscribe, hit follow, so that when new episodes come up, you do not miss them. For the Tapping Q&A podcast, this is Gene Montrestelli. Hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you real soon. Bye-bye. The Tapping Q&A podcast is copyright Gene Montrestelli Tapping Q&A. All views expressed by guests are those of the guests and not necessarily of Gene Montrestelli and Tapping Q&A.